Hey guys, this is a series that is going to be showcasing my financial journey, and the reason why I'm adding this video up here because I think for the past several years I've been on a financial freedom journey, and I don't want to say that it's not been working out. I've been doing really good. I've been crushing debt. I keep getting steps and steps closer to being debt-free. However, I feel like accountability is the best ingredient to achieving the things that you want to do in life. So at first I was a bit adamant about sharing my financial journey, but I think this is an avenue that I haven't experimented with, and I'm hoping that it will be helpful for not only me, but for anyone out there who also are on a financial journey to financial freedom, to getting out of debt, whatever it may be. I wanted to start off this series with something special, and I literally had an aha moment when I was at the library. I was picking up a book that I already had in mind that I wanted. I actually came across another book called The Financial Diet. And this book is actually by Chelsea Fagan or Fagan, and I apologize for screwing that up, but it's Chelsea is amazing. She currently has a blog or a company on called The Financial Diet, and she basically provides tips, resources, all sorts of stuff about getting out of debt, living your best life, making money work for you rather than all the terrible things that money can do. When I saw this book, I'd actually been watching Chelsea's videos on YouTube for a few months now, and I always found them to be helpful. It was just so interesting how all of a sudden she came out with a book, and immediately, I think it was published in 2018. Now it's in stores, it's in the libraries, it's wherever you can buy books at. When I was reading this book, and by the way, I'm actually practically almost done with it. I consumed it, and I love reading financial books only because I feel that one is just not enough, especially for someone like me who has not always made the best decisions when it comes to money. And so my whole theory is to keep money principles in front of me often so that I don't steer away and go down the rabbit hole, which I have been many times. Lately, I have gotten into the practice of thinking about money in a way of reinforcing everything that I've learned. I followed Dave Ramsey for many years, really loved him, still love him, still love his principles. It's actually what got me to where I am today, where I have reduced a lot of debt. I'm really grateful for that. You will always, at least for me, I will always have to go back, recircle, and relearn some concepts. I recently moved for a new job. When I made the move, there were a lot of things that I didn't set up, like my 401k, my Roth IRA, and things of that nature. 6 months has gone by and I haven't done any of those things, and I don't know, I just started thinking one day, like, I'm supposed to be doing something, and I revisited a book that I love to read, and that basically got me back in the flow of how I'm supposed to be managing my money. I'm not a money guru, so please, I do not think that I know everything about money. So I'm always trying to learn more, and it just happens that sometimes I tend to forget things and tend to forget the basic principles that I've learned along the way. Although there are a few principles that I know, like, never lend money unless you have basically accepted the fact that you're not going to get it back, or also that you can lend it and not hurt yourself. That's one that I remember, and never put something on your credit for someone else. I do those things easily because I've learned the hard way. In revisiting all of the financial principles, I found this book, The Financial Diet, and in the midst of reading this book, I came across a few questions, and they were really budgeting questions, and for me, they were so helpful, and I don't know, it was really good. I really like questions like these to really get me to think about money. So that's the topic of today's video. And I hope you will find it helpful. I hope you will answer these questions yourself if you are interested in financial freedom, getting out of debt, managing your money better. Obviously you are, since you're watching this. I think these are very good questions, and I'm gonna see if I can find the PDF version of these questions, because in the book it says that it's a downloadable resource and all you have to do is visit a URL link listed here in the book. I'm going to do that and link it in the box below, that you can also answer those questions. But I had a blast. I love homework like this. I'm gonna start, and I've already got my questions answered, and I'm just gonna, keep looking back at them so that I can answer them the way that I had answered them the first time. Number one is, what are 3 purchases that you made last month that were impulsive? To answer this question, I had to go back to my bank account and see what was really going on, okay? Like, what happened? Because at the top of my head, I could not remember. Like, I can't even remember what I ate last night for dinner. For the purpose of the question, it said 3 things. Not 4, not 5, not 6. So I went back and I found 3 things that were impulsive purchases. One of them was an Anthropologie jumpsuit that I bought on sale. That doesn't make it any better, but the bad thing about it was that I was attempting to do a return. So I had bought some stuff previously, wanted to return it, did the return, everything was successful, and then I made my way to the sales rack and I found a really cute jumpsuit, and there just so happened to be a 40 or 45% off, and I felt like the stars were aligned, so I bought it. The second thing was I attempted another return at H&M. I bought something online, didn't work out for me, so I went, did the return, was successful, and then as I'm beelining my way out the store, I see another jumpsuit, which was so adorable, so I bought that very impulsively. The third thing that I bought, which is to make me look good, was I bought a coding book. So I'm learning to practice a little bit of HTML, CSS, things of that nature. So I bought a book, and I added a 4th thing actually, which was I bought an album on iTunes. The next question is, how many of the purchases I made last month have long-term value? I made 0 purchases last month that had long-term value, meaning I bought groceries, no long-term value because all of that went in my belly, or I wasted it, which I try not to do. I did happen to save though. I guess if you look at it from a saving perspective, I didn't purchase anything, but I managed to put money in my savings account, which will, if it stays there, will have long-term value. But that's kind of like a cheat answer. What are 3 specific things I want to cut from my budget this month? I have really cut down everything imaginable that I would want to cut down. My budget is down to the bones. I don't have any things that I would want to narrow down in my budget. Not that I don't, but I've already tried to do those things. I've tried to reduce my phone bill, which I've done that within the past couple of months already. I'm pretty good this month. So number 4 is, of all the items that you bought recently, have any of them gone on sale since? And yes, that answer is definitely a big yes. So remember that H&M jumpsuit that I bought on impulse? Well, I just so happened to look online a few days later, and it was significantly cheaper from the time that I bought it. I actually bought it full price, and it went down like really steep, so I went back and I got money on that. Interesting to see that I paid full price for something for once at H&M, and then immediately it just got cheaper. How much money did I spend eating out last month? Last month I traveled. I don't really want to count that because I had budgeted specifically for those trips, and in doing those trips I ate out a lot, practically every meal, and I've decided not even to add it up because I had a budget for, let's say, $300, and I spent most of that eating out. So if I had to give a number, $300. That's not an accurate number, but that's what I budgeted for. Outside of that, I probably ate out twice, and that would be, and I already know the places, so I'm thinking that would be around $30. The next question is, did you set a concrete savings goal and did you meet it? Depends on the month we're talking about here. It didn't say last month, this month. I'm gonna just talk about this month. This month, I had 2 major planned expenses, and that kind of did away with some of my savings, but I was able to save $400. However, I kind of racked up a little bit on my credit card this month, a little over than usual, and so I took that $400 and just paid it off completely. I've decided that I'm not going to be using my credit cards anymore. What I'm going to do is, the only reason that I'll use my credit card is for traveling. Aside from that, I've already ditched my credit card somewhere, and I am not looking to use it because I can see that I'm a bad steward when it comes to credit cards. Maybe in a year I will revisit, but I want to be in a better place mentally. I really want to not do any compulsive shopping. I'm done with credit cards unless it's for traveling. And even then, I do have money set aside for the traveling, so immediately I'll just pay it off. Going forward, what am I saving up for? Now, this is a really, 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 really hard question to ask. Honestly, I'm saving up for random things like car maintenance. I'm not necessarily saving up for a house or anything because I'm still just trying to think of what is it that I really want. And I don't really see myself where I live now. I don't really see myself buying property here. And I don't need a car. My car is paid off. So those are things that I just don't see myself needing at this point in time. I don't intend to go back to school unless it's free 99. And just saving in general, I don't necessarily have a plan for my money, but that is something that I am thinking about, really trying to feel myself through it. Next question. How much do I need to save per week to meet that goal? Once again, I'm just saving, just saving just to save. Don't really have a purpose at the moment, just saving. What is one tangible way I can increase my income next month? I really love this question. Lately, I've been thinking, how can I make multiple streams of income? And I've just been debating back and forth. Do I create something and sell it online, or do I basically get a job at Starbucks? I don't know at this point. I have a lot of ideas, but I have not taken a lot of action towards those ideas. And I know that those ideas will require time. They'll require perseverance, patience, determination, action. Most importantly, they'll require action. So I'm going to give myself till October to come up with that answer. And the reason why I say October is because I am actually going on 2 trips in September. And one trip I'll be gone for 16 days. But basically, when I totaled it all together, if I start looking for a job at Starbucks, if I start looking for just like a random job, I'm gonna have to tell them, yeah, I basically can't work for the month of September. So I decided to just remove that whole idea at the moment and just use this time to get clear on what it is that I want to do. The last and final question. Did I put money towards something I genuinely care about? Yes. For this month in particular, I did put something towards something that was close to me and really, really close to me. And I don't want to talk about it because if someone sees it, if someone, I don't want that person to be hurt or, make it, I just don't want to get it icky. But yes, I contributed something and this month, and it felt really good, really happy about it. And yeah, that's my goal. Moving forward though, one thing that I will talk about is I want to put money towards a scholarship for a college student. While I was in college, I worked like 2 jobs to get through college, and I didn't have a lot of financial support from others outside of outside of government loans. I went into a good amount of debt to get through school, and it's nobody's fault. It's it's my responsibility, and I own that responsibility, and that's actually the debt that I'm looking to pay off right now. That's the only debt that I have. And looking back at my college experience, I realized how I didn't have a lot of things, and thankfully I was able to get that degree. God, thank you so much. I was able to do so much, and that degree in itself helped me so much. But I want to say that a lot of women, or a lot of people in general, I guess, but for me, I sympathize, or I have empathy, more empathy towards women, especially African American women. It's hard in some of our communities. It is really difficult to get the support that you need. And scholarships, there are many scholarships out there, and I feel like the one that I will create will also help to aid the particular person that I'm looking to help. That's actually something that's ongoing, and I forgot to mention that in the previous question. It's number 7. Going forward, what specifically am I saving up for? That is something that I am saving up for. I'm actually saving $100 a month. I haven't figured out the details, but I want to write a check out. That is what I'm looking forward to. That answers all of the questions that was displayed in this book here. I'm going to see if I can get this PDF and link it somewhere in the description box, so that if you would like to answer the questions, you can answer them too. I hope these questions were helpful. If you want to answer more questions on a weekly basis about your financial health, you can just simply Google. When I first started my financial journey, Dave Ramsey had a series of questions that I went through with a financial mentor, and they were really good questions. They were questions about, talk about your money journey or your money story. When was your first lesson on money? And it could be things like how you perceived other people handle money, or how you perceived yourself handle money. And I've got tons of stories about that. So if you want to hear any of those, let me know. This is definitely a very vulnerable topic. Not a lot of people talk about money from a personal standpoint, but I'm open. I want others to hold me accountable. I want to hold myself accountable, and I want to do more with my money. I want to make better financial decisions to improve my life, my family's life, and the people around me in general. So until next time.